Hello to all of you, our viewers. Welcome to this edition of the news. My name is Sarah Shinhori. We'll start with the headlines. Rwanda and Israel have signed a cooperation agreement. And on the international scene, a Kenyan organization is turning locally sourced bamboo into customized wheelchairs for children with disabilities. Now, as we begin this edition of the news, let us first inform you that last week, His Excellency President Paul Kagame, Salesforce Chair and CEO Mark Benifor, and the Secretary General of the International Telecommunication Union, Doreen Bogdan Martin, announced the launch of the AI for Good Global Commission. The commission brings together more than 40 founding members, including heads of state and government, industry CEOs and top executives, as well as heads of UN agencies to help define practical pathways to strengthen trust, expand access, and unlock the potential of artificial intelligence to solve real-world challenges at the speed the technology demands. Now, in his address, President Kagame pointed out that technology is supposed to be a force of good, and that leaders have a responsibility to use it accordingly, calling on them to work together to reduce inequality and allow more people to benefit from the good AI can deliver. The newly formed commission occupies a unique position in the global AI landscape by connecting leaders who build technology, deploy it at scale, shape the policy and represent communities. The Commission seeks to help forge responsible AI solutions across sectors and borders while ensuring the participation of developing countries. With 2.2 billion people still offline, 1/4 of the world is cut off from AI advancements. A key focus of the AI for Good Global Commission will be to bridge digital divides and help ensure that AI becomes a tool for solving global challenges, not deepening inequalities. Now, as we noted in the headlines, Rwanda and Israel have signed an agreement aimed at further expanding cooperation between the two countries in areas of development, innovation, and education. The agreement was signed by Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ambassador Olivier Nduhungirehe, who is on an official visit to Israel.
That go beyond diplomacy. And both our countries, as I said, are marked by difficult histories and profound tragedies. But what defines us is, as you said, the resilience of our peoples and our determination to turn adversity into progress, to turn the tragedy of a genocide into socioeconomic transformation, into resilience, into innovation, to really write a new chapter to our peoples.
Israel's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Gideon Saar, who signed the agreement on behalf of his country, noted that Rwanda and Israel share histories marked by genocide, but that both countries have demonstrated their ability to rebuild and remain committed to securing a better future for their people.
Israel and Rwanda demonstrate that nations are not measured by their size, but by the determination and resilience of the people. Both our countries have turned great challenges into amazing achievements. Rwanda has become one of Africa's fastest growing economies with a vision for innovation and development. Looking at the agreements we have signed today, we can see our partnership is making a real difference.
Minister Nduhungirehe and his delegation also visited the city of Jerusalem, the Western Wall, and the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial. Now, young Rwandans from Belgium, the United Kingdom, Canada, and the US, as well as Nigeria, have arrived in Rwanda for Rwanda Youth Tour 2026, an initiative designed to reconnect members of the diaspora with their homeland and encourage them that is encourage their participation in their country's development. And Nora Gladys with more on that.
The participants in this year's edition are between 18 and 20 years old. For many of them, it is their first time visiting Rwanda, an experience they say has been exciting and memorable.
I'll definitely recommend my friends to come and do the tour. I feel like it gives everyone the opportunity to learn more about Rwanda. Like, even though I am Rwandese, both my parents are from Rwanda, I don't really have a general understanding of what's happened, what's where, who to speak to if I want to do something. And I feel like when it comes to studying, everyone wants to go to uni, so it's a main thing of.
I feel like it's about empowering people, you know, to look at our culture and look, like just she said, it's about making sure that we know that this is our country and spreading the word and making sure that people know that although we were colonized, we are Rwandans and no one's going to take that away from us. So yeah, living here would be amazing. Just seeing, you know, the potential. Rwanda has so much potential, and I feel like coming from the US, I can bring so many skills and like so many new things that I've learned and just apply it to Rwanda as a whole.
The Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Arts, Sandrine Mutoni, says it is important for young Rwandans in the diaspora to begin contributing to the country's development from an early age.
This is the 6th edition of the Rwanda Youth Tour, and it is always a pleasure for our institution to work with other government institutions to facilitate this type of discovery or this type of mission, where we have young people coming from different parts of the world. We have people who come from French-speaking countries, English-speaking countries. We even have people who do not come from Rwanda who actually want to discover what Rwanda has to offer. And through the next 2 weeks, they will be traveling, visiting Rwanda. They will be meeting with key institutions so they can get a better understanding of what is Rwanda today, what was Rwanda in 1994, what does the liberation struggle means, and then also understand that the liberation struggle is something that never really ends because it's about ultimately defeating the genocidal ideology, it's ultimately bringing dignity to everyone and creating sufficient mindset change in every young person to understand that they can build a better Rwanda, that they have the power in them to make life easier for themselves and the future generations.
The Rwanda Youth Tour is an annual program now being held for the 6th time. It is organized by young Rwandans born abroad who visit Rwanda to tour various development projects while learning about the country's history and heritage. Enra Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Young entrepreneurs are noting that over the 32 years since Rwanda's liberation, the country has created opportunities that have enabled young people to start businesses, create jobs, and expand their enterprises. And Nora Gladys continues.
The Ministry of Youth and Arts says that following the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, Rwanda prioritized investing in the empowerment of young people across different sectors. Minister of Youth and Arts, Dr. Jean-Lepo Abdallah Otumatwishima, explains that one of the government's first priorities was ensuring equal access to education.
Before the genocide against the Tutsi, many young Rwandans were unable to attend school because of discriminatory policies that excluded some, while others were prevented by poverty. Tutsi children in particular were denied access to education because of ethnic discrimination. After the genocide, the government of national unity made it a priority to ensure that every Rwandan child has the right to education. The second major achievement was in healthcare. Today, many of our parents are covered by the community-based health insurance, Mutuelle de Santé. One of the most significant reforms after the genocide against the Tutsi was ensuring that beyond government, employees covered by RSSB and workers insured by their employees, every Rwandan who contributed to community health insurance can access medical care. This gives young people the confidence to work knowing that they will receive treatment if they fall sick. Another important achievement is that young people have been given opportunities to participate in decision-making from the village level all the way to national institutions.
Young people who have benefited from government initiatives say these opportunities have enabled them to improve their livelihoods and expand their businesses. Young people with disabilities also commend the government's inclusive policies, saying they have equally benefited from the country's development. through a sign language interpreter, Kelly Rusaru Mugisha, who has a speech impairment and funded an organization that supports children with autism, shared her experience. All young people have opportunities today. Over the past 32 years, one of the greatest achievements has been restoring confidence and dignity to people with disabilities like us. Today, we participate alongside everyone else on an equal footing. In the past, we often faced exclusion, but that is no longer the case. We now have the freedom to contribute according to our abilities. And when we seek services, we are no longer viewed as a burden. Society's attitude has changed and we are now welcomed like everyone else.
We are very happy because everything we have achieved and what we plan to accomplish in the future has been made possible by the opportunities our country has provided. Those opportunities have opened markets for us and allowed us to develop different projects. Without them, we would not be able to implement many of the initiatives we are working on today, all those we plan for the future. That is why we appreciate these opportunities and believe it is our responsibility to make good use of them while creating jobs for other young people.
Minister Dr. Jean-Paul Abdallah Utumatwishima says the government has introduced a wide range of opportunities that help young people create jobs, build businesses, and contribute to national development.
Our country has established many opportunities for young people, but they must also take the initiative to seize them. Today, there are options for everyone. Those with basic education can access different opportunities, and those with higher education can develop ideas through the Aguka Ideation program. Entrepreneurs can compete in the Youth Connect Awards, while those looking to grow their businesses can apply for financing through the Aguka Youth Fund. In addition, there are many other opportunities offered by different financial institutions.
According to the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda, there are approximately 3.6 million young people aged 16 to 30, representing 37% of Rwanda's population. The government says it continues to introduce programs and opportunities aimed at promoting youth entrepreneurship and reducing unemployment. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Rwanda's financial sector is expanding rapidly, driven by technology and growing professional skills. But experts say the real progress is not just in systems and numbers, it is in trust. As institutions improve service delivery, more citizens are gaining confidence in informal financial services. William Evans Mutabazi with more.
In the 32 years since Rwanda's liberation, the financial sector has recorded significant growth both in the number of institutions and in the adoption of modern financing technology. But investors say this transformation is still relatively recent in depth and scale, as explained by businessman Dennis Carrera. I remember in the past, the only bank we heard of was BK. I think it was the only bank, and maybe some other banks that were around but kept changing names. Microfinance institutions, including sector-level SACCOs, were established years ago to bring financial services closer to citizens and complement commercial banks. However, many of these SACCOs initially operated using traditional systems. Only recently have they begun integrating and harmonizing the operations through digital platforms. This shift, experts say, has introduced new systems that require new skills. Financial sector workers say that capacity building has been key in adapting to these changes. Before undergoing this training, we worked but not with much experience. But now that we have been trained, we are going to do our work more professionally. We now have the necessary skills to give better services to our customers and also align with digitization, which is our vision. Because most of us are university graduates, we often learn things without practicing them. Such trainings, therefore, equip us with practical skills. Ruth Madley, country director of DSIK, says that no country can achieve sustainable development without a strong financial sector. She says This is why they are working with the government of Rwanda to strengthen skills among financial sector staff who serve citizens directly.
We have seen that it is very important that the employees in the microfinance sector are professionally trained. The microfinance sector has a lot of potential of financing and reaching out to big population groups. We have heard today more than 7 million people are members or clients in the microfinance sector. So that means they need professional services, they need good customer care, they need well-designed products. And that is why the employees and the management in the microfinance sector need to be highly professional. So we believe through this program, where we today have seen 113 graduates in management level and 22 in the junior level, that those will then support their microfinance institutions to be stronger and to also serve their clients and members much better.
The managing director of Rwanda Institute of Cooperatives, Entrepreneurship and Microfinance says that training staff in microfinancial institutions is aimed at closing skills gaps, especially in digital systems.
za kaminuza zacu twigisha abacungamutungo, twigisha.
In many of our universities, we teach accounting and finance, but there is nowhere people are taught working in financial institutions. Such trainings that last for close to a year therefore help people understand what it means to work in financial institutions and operations of different departments. And we also equip them with skills to support their theoretically learned skills. We carried out a survey and found out that 98% of our students work professionally across different microfinance institutions.
Za sako na za microfinance muri rusange.
Investor Dennis Carrera says these reforms and capacity building efforts are evident of a sector that continues to grow stronger and more inclusive for Rwandans.
First of all, iyo urebye uko turimo kubikora n'ubu biguha icyizere cyinshi cyane.
First of all, when you see how the sector operates, it's very positive and promising by just looking at how many banks we have now and in terms of the volumes of money transactions. It is not a secret that many businessmen ask for several millions in dollars from our very own banks here in Kigali.
Abacuruzi bacu b'i Kigali hano.
Currently, Rwanda has 16 licensed commercial banks and 491 microfinancial institutions. The majority, 416, are sector-level SACCOs. So far, 127 participants have completed the training program designed to improve operations and strengthen service delivery. The course covered 9 key modules focused on improving efficiency and customer service.
My sincere appreciation for your taking the time to join us, and I hope to see you again soon. Until then, it is goodbye.